How can you be able to trade even odd and have the best winning rates? It's very simple because I already got strategy for that, got you covered. How do you go about it? So I have created this robot we call that is even Vashook monster. We also have that is the odd Vashook monster, but in this case I want us to talk about even Vashook monster and how you can actually be able to trade with it. So this is how this robot is actually trading. So the robot will actually be waiting for four consecutive Vashook losses on even market. Yeah. Then the moment you hit 4 consecutive Vashook losses, the robot will switch to Lil, execute one trade on Lil. In case it's a win, it will wait for some other 4 consecutive Vashook losses, that is 4 consecutive Vashook losses on even, then execute another trade. What if it's a loss? That's where we have now market 2. And the moment you hit 4 consecutive Vashook losses, the robot switches to Lil, and the first trade is a loss. That's where market 2 now comes into play. It executes the second trade instantly without checking for any market condition because we already made our first entry with market 1. In case it's a loss, the robot switches to market 3. And with this market 3, the robot will actually be looking for 4 consecutive Vashook losses. In case the moment you hit those 4 consecutive losses, the robot will execute now another trade that is on even. Yeah. In case it's a win, then the robot will switch back to market 1 and execute, wait for some other 4 consecutive Vashook losses, then execute another trade. But in case now in market 3, when we switch from market 2 to 3, the robot happens to lose on our first trade after hitting those 4 consecutive losses. That's where now the robot will actually execute the second trade instantly. So we have actually, with this robot, we have actually set the phases, that is the mode of recovery into 2. So we have market 1, market 2, then we have now market 3. Market 1, market 2 work together, then now we have market 3. So we have 2 phases of recovery. You just need to visit RA Traders and backtest and actually see how it actually performs. But before that, watch this video to understand how you can actually be able to do it. It's very simple, man. I want us to trade that is the even market, and I need you to be very careful. So if you click select bots, we have these 2 robots. We have the odd Vashook monster and we have even Vashook monster. These 2 robots are actually doing so much amazing. I've already done a video on how to trade with the odd Vashook monster, and now I want us to trade with even Vashook monster. And in this case, we are using that is the new Deriv API legacy. That's how it actually looks like. Yeah. I'll give the details by the end of the video on how you can actually be able to migrate your account. So this robot is actually trading even odd. We'll first of all execute the trades, then I'll give details on how the robot is actually doing the analysis. Okay. And of course the robot is using what you call the Vashook. So you'll just need to click the global shared setup here. That is our stop loss. We'll set up to 4. You can set up 4 or even 5 consecutive Vashook losses. Target profit, we're gonna do just that is $100. Okay, $100 is okay. Stop loss, we're gonna set a stop loss of like 300 there. Then market volatilities, we can use any random volatility, but I'll just click here and switch to like 51s, then cancel the default. Then let's go to the risk manager. This is how you set up your stake. This one, just click there. We're gonna do a stake of like 35 USD, like that. Yeah. Okay, then close that. So we have market 1, market 2, market 3. Yeah. Okay, so you only need to set up this part. That is it. Stop trading option, the target profit and stop loss guard, market volatilities, and the risk manager. That is the only thing you are supposed to set up. For this, I'm just explaining on how this robot is actually executing the trades. Then once we take the trades, I'll actually open the blocks and show you how the robot is actually developed. So market 1, the robot will actually be looking for 4 consecutive Vashook losses, then execute a trade on even. In case of a loss, the robot will switch to market 2 and execute another trade on even instantly. In case of another loss, the robot will pause and wait for some other 4 consecutive Vashook losses and execute a trade on even. Yeah, that is to help us make a recovery. Okay, let's first of all take the trades and see how it performs. So this is our execution button. So you just need to click start. Yeah, Then let's go to the transaction. So 4 consecutive partial losses, then the robot executes a trade on even. Yeah, just wait and see. Currently, you can actually see there is no trade that have actually been taken on lead. And for those who don't understand what is a virtual hook, the you switch, boom, it's a win. Virtual hook help us distribute the losses to a virtual account. So the virtual hook help us to reduce the losses on real accounts by distributing those losses to a virtual account. Do you tena another win? Wow. This robot is really doing amazing. This is what you need, and everything is fully automated. You really don't need to do any market analysis, and of course the robot always delivers the best results. So in case when you're trading you feel you need to post the result, you need to post the trades, no, you turn another one, boom, it's a loss, boom, it's a loss now. So now you can actually see after those 2 consecutive virtual losses, the robot will look for some other 4 consecutive virtual losses, then try to execute the recovery. That is in the next trades. Yeah, no, those are 3. So I just want you to see how the robot is actually will actually be doing the recovery. So we need 4 consecutive. Those are 3, 4 switch, boom, a loss, boom, recovered. No, hiyo sasa, amazing stuff. So like the recovery for this robot, have actually set it to actually have like 2 sets of recoveries, and you can actually see how it's actually delivering. Yeah. So in case when you are executing your trades, you feel you need to pause the trade and resume probably after a break, you can use this pause button. Do you tena? Do your loss recovered? Amazing. Career. Okay, so you can pause with this button. Then this, of course, this is a stop button. In case you feel you need to stop the trade, you stop with this button. In case you feel you need to pause, this is a pause button. Now you tena, boom, target profit hits. That's how we do it. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Just check how we did it. Yeah. Even if we happen to hit on a loss, like the recovery was instant. Yeah, we are recovering. Like it's just very simple. It's actually, this is one of the best even odd robots I have ever created, because I'm so much confident about this. Can even probably execute some other trades to hit 150 USD, just to show you how confident I am. Of course, we just need like 2 more wins, then hit around like 150. Yeah. Actually, I had actually done some other trade before this, and I think I did some more trade on even. I have done one trade on even. I also did another like 2 trades on odd. Do you loss? Agaria recovery 128. Now we need only 1 more win, then we hit 150, then we can pause the robot at that point. So the performance is really amazing. I don't know why you have to go struggle with market analysis. Yeah, the way 158. What else do you need in life? We have already hit 150. I think now I need to demonstrate. Okay, let's hit 200. Let's hit 200. All you need to do is just get on ratraders.co.ke and backtest and see how best it's actually performing. I'll also create that is an over-unders robot, which is actually trading using the same principle. But I first of all have to get the that is a feedback from you guys on how you'll actually see the even odd robot actually performing. In case it's doing so well, then we can go ahead and try create the same version of even that is over-unders robot that is actually trading with the same principle, pro trading markets like over 4 and under 5. So we'll have an over robot, we'll also have an under robot. Yeah, so this is I think we only need like 1 more trade. It's actually taking a bit of time. Actually, we have made more profit than we anticipated. Do your 10 14 trades, 9 wins and just 5 losses, closed at a profit of 217. Wow, amazing. So how does this robot actually trade? It's very simple. So when you are setting up your robot, you just need to set up your stop trading option, target profit and stop loss guard. Of course, this is where you set up your stop loss. Personally, I set like 4 consecutive losses. then open this. These are, I was taking that, I was targeting $100. Of course we did 200 because we did 100. Then you have this part for the stop loss. Yeah, this is where you set up your stop loss. Then market volatilities, in case you want to switch the volatility, just click here and select the volatility that you want. Of course you want to remove 50, just cancel 50, then click market volatilities to close that option. Then go to the risk manager. This is where you set up your stake, and this is the material that you are actually applying. So those are the only details that you need to set up. Now let me explain how this robot is actually trading. If you open market one and go to trade definitions, you can actually see the robot is trading even. How is this a robot that is getting those entries? Just click the value hook and you can actually see the robot is actually looking for 4 consecutive value losses. Then it executes one trade on deal. In case it's a win, the robot will wait for some other 4 consecutive value losses. Yeah. Then once you hit 4 consecutive value losses, it will execute another trade on deal. In case it's a loss, that's where now market 2 comes in. The robot will automatically switch to market 2 and execute another trade on even instantly to actually help us make the recovery. Just for market 2, we really don't need, that is the value hook, because we want this robot to execute that trade instantly, immediately after the first trade that is on market 1 has failed. In case it's a loss, now that's where now market 2, market 3 comes in. Market 3 is actually still trading even, but now this is what this robot is actually doing. We'll actually have to wait for 4 consecutive value losses, then it will place 2 trades on deal, but it will not place the 2 trades immediately. So once you hit 4 consecutive value losses, it will execute the first trade. In case the first trade doesn't make a win, then the robot proceeds to the second trade immediately without having to wait for the value losses and try to execute a recovery. With those 2 sets of recovery of market 1, market 2, market 3, yeah, it's almost a sure bet, like you'll actually make a recovery in case you hit a loss. And you can actually see how we performed. We even went ahead and even took some other extra trade which were even not necessary. I just wanted to prove how it's actually working. So you really don't need to have all that information. The reason why I always explain these details is for anyone who would wish to go and do some adjustment and set their own parameters. But that's how personally I have actually set it, and that's how we're able to make a profit of $217. Something else I would wish to let you know, just in case you recently created your Deriv account and you're not able to log in on any third-party site, you can now visit eritraders.co.ke. We have actually migrated to the new Deriv API legacy. You can actually see how the new accounts actually looks like. Yeah, so you can actually be able to log in, go and execute your trades. Everything here is free of charge. You don't pay for anything. Then in case you want to join our community, just click this icon here like that. Then you can join our WhatsApp channel, you can join our Telegram channel, you can also follow us on all these other platforms. You can also follow us on YouTube, so that at least you can get those tutorials on how to trade. Yeah, then in case you want to visit Erit Traders, just get on your browser and just type Erit. Just search for Erit Traders like that. Yeah, then just search. It will automatically open us. Of course, it's just right here, this one. Yeah, no, not Erit Trader, but Erit Traders. It's supposed to be pop up the first one, this one, just right there. You can also type on your browser, that is erittraders.co.ke, like that, then search, and it automatically opens like that. Yeah, it's actually very, very simple. And of course, to tell you to actually log in, just click login and authorize your account. Yeah, so that's how we actually do it. Very, very, very simple. You just need to get on Erit Traders, backtest it, see how best it performs. These are the results that we have right now. Goodbye.